Fellow traders, 'tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, November the 21st. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. As always, let's have risk management in place when we're trade so we don't lose more than we're willing to lose. Okay, let's get right into the weekly update. We're completing the third trading week of the month of November, and the dashboard shows us there's one gap that didn't fill, the one at top. The Australian Canadian dollar did not fill the gap. I'm curious, are there any traders out there doing the gap fill trades or using it for directional bias? So right now we've got the pound 56 pips below the weekly open, 100 off the high and 55 off the low. If we take a look at the monthly, we're 33 pips off that monthly open, 123 off the high and 83 off the low. And we have crossed below the previous month's low here. We're out of the previous month's wick zone. If we drop down to the daily, a very interesting chart here you can see this month. On Wednesday, we dropped out of the opening range for the week and out of the opening range for the month. You can see we crawled back in on Thursday, but we once again into the opening range for the month, but we dropped out. And today, we just missed the opening the opening range low for the month by a pip. So we got close but no cigar right there. And taking a look at the yearly, we're now 583 pips above the yearly open. We are 695 off the high and 994 off the low. So we're closing in on that yearly midpoint. And that inside bar from 4 days ago, we almost had a triple inside bar here on Tuesday, but it just barely broke the previous day's low. So we didn't have triple inside bar. But you can see here on the day, we are now 26 above the daily open, and we are moving back towards that inside bar range. And according to the dashboard, we got a couple of handfuls. Got a handful on the daily, handful on the weekly, but we just have one monthly here, one monthly inside bar to look at on the New Zealand yen. And looking at the price movement here on the range, we only have 69 pips of range for the pound today. An anemic day, very anemic. Let's see, who's leading? The Swiss franc yen is leading with 223 pips of range. Let's see, you got the dollar yen at 134 pips. I've been looking, you guys know I used to trade the yen before I started trading the pound with Walmart. So I still keep an eye on it. And I actually wanted to start shorting around 155, but I waited. I'm not sure, I may have missed an opportunity to short. Well, I didn't. There was the 157, but I think there might even. Let's see. Let's take a quick look here. We can switch over. Let's see. Where did we get? What high did we get? We almost got to 158. But you can see here it came in that upper wick zone and fell through that, through the candle body, fell out of that lower wick zone today. So yeah, starting to think and getting my shorts on there. And let's see, the daily open proved to be a strong point here. He tried to crack it a couple of times, but price just kept pushing up. Notice we got into the launch pad here, dropped below the 40, came up through, opened in the 40, and took off. I don't think I was awake then. I think I woke up at 3, but that happened at 4. I fell back to sleep and woke up at 6. And as you can see here, we've got enough range. So the green rats feasted and the red rats nibbled a couple of times. Bambino Flex indicator said to look for shorts. Pivot trading plan said near R1 was a short, near the pivot was a short. And you can see here that definitely would have paid off at least once today. Actually, maybe 2 or 3 times. Well, that wasn't much of a short there. And so bias near S1 was long, and you see we did get within about 5 pips or so of the S1. Price turned around, and it looks like it turned around off of yesterday's low. So that would have been a nice trade there. And as you can see here, yesterday's low was 30379. Today's low 30387. So didn't quite get there. Close but no cigar. Even though, remember, in trading, you can get within, if you can get within 5 pips of your target, you should probably be making money, especially if you're looking to make more than 5 pips. And so the weekly pivot's taken out. And so far, we don't have any missed pivots in November right now. For the week, we took that pivot out. But the month, we missed it. So we've got 2 missed pivots so far in 2025. You can see here price in and out of the lower wick zone, in and out of the upper wick zone. A couple times we're back in the wick zone. Notice this is decreased to 70 now. I think it was up to 80 at one time, or close to it, this past month or so. And it almost makes me think I should do a histogram or something to display this, put it on the bottom. And looking at the smart range chart, we're at the 25 percentile here. 155 pips of range today, so we're above last week, but below the week before. High minus previous high did not break out, but previous low minus low, we broke out by 47 pips. That's not bad. Once again, the previous week's high low. Nice breakout trades there. And for the rats, high minus close right now, 96. Close minus low, 59. For you weekly crossover traders, high minus open, 44 pips to the north, and open minus low, 111 pips to the south. So you can just have these horizontal lines on the chart and just trade in the direction the price is moving when it gets to the line. You're not going to win every time, and that's why we have stop losses. Looking at the price action chart here, you can see here we've got indicator 2. Price has been above it here. Had an outside bar, taking that break. That would have been profitable. Another break here. You see a break to the downside. It's outside inside bars Here's one right here, break to both sides. Another inside bar break to the north. Here's an inside bar break to the south. Once again, simple horizontal lines, trading with candle collar. Notice we've got this return bar here, huge. So look for price to get back to the open 130.45. Probably not today, maybe next week. Sometimes price will use the midpoint of the bar as a launch. And that's what Walmart likes to look for. If it gets near that mid and then bounces, and let's see, what's the range of this bar? Oh, that's 45 pips on the nose. So half of that would be 22.5. So if you add 22.5 to 180 to 1.3089, 22 would be 131.11. And you can see here we got within 5 pips of that at 131.07. So that would have been a place to look for price to hit and then turn. Just doing fib projections. Just once again, this is part of having a trading plan, being able to think in advance and then decide what you're going to do in advance. So when the time comes, you know what to do. And we've got higher low, lower high trades here. You can see we had a higher low click here. That would have been a nice trade to the south. And on these three balls, if that candle was white and then turns black or was bullish, turn bearish, three ball at the top, I like to jump in on those. Does it always work? No. And you can see here you had a big up bar. So once again, that looks like a return bar and price did return. And Wednesday, I believe I called out a couple of numbers. And when I looked at the charts briefly yesterday, I think both numbers were taken out. But once again, not not in the prediction game. I'm more into the reaction game, looking at where price should react. And so you can see here, we've got a bunch of three balls from a while back and what price, you see them right here, what price is doing in these levels. And for those new to the channel, that's the 3 level ZZ indicator, 3 level ZZ semaphore that I modified, extensively modified. There's more code in there that I put in than the original. There's just so much that I did with that indicator. It got a little crazy, but depending on what you want to do, it can come in handy. Like, once again, those fib lines. I don't remember if that one, I don't think I put projections in that one. I think that's one of the dot indicators, but all the inputs. Got the retrace lines, median line, trend line, oh, fib lines, but no fib projections. I think what I did was in my dynamic support resistance indicator, I did that. And you know what, traders? The fastest 15 minutes of trading is just about over. So I'm going to wish everybody a fun and safe weekend. Next week's Turkey Day here in the US of A. So when you come back to trade, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it.